Good evening, Lions. Welcome to the Lions District 2S3 Club Officer Training for Club Presidents. There are a couple of house rules that I need to go over with you. Keep your microphone unmuted. That allows me to, as the presenter, to mute or unmute the microphones for the presentation. All of you have found the chat function and everyone looks good there. If you have a question during the presentation, please type it in there and send it to everyone. Because our session is being recorded, the only questions that get recorded in the chat are those sent to everyone. It looks like we may have a class under 10 that I may ask direct questions of you, which I will then unmute your mic and try to answer your questions that way. Like I said, all sessions are recorded and will be made available on the district website in a reasonable time frame after conclusion of the live webinar. I'm your instructor this evening. My name's past District Governor Mike Smith. I was District Governor for District 2S3 in 2010, 2011, 2015, and 2016. And I was also twice club president of my club, the New Braunfels Breakfast Lions. So I'm very well qualified to teach the president's position. Welcome and congratulations. You've been elected to the position of club president. You're probably telling yourself, what do I do now? Well, tonight we're going to give you some answers to that question. And hopefully by the end you'll have a better picture of what you need to do and how you need to proceed. What's our objectives tonight? We want you to recognize the purpose of a Lions Club and its placement within the structure of Lions Clubs International. We want to summarize your responsibilities as a club president, apply that knowledge to some common scenarios. At least we're going to have time for at least one good scenario. And then we're going to access some additional resources as needed. Our first part tonight is, where does the club fit in? We are putting an emphasis this season on training that the club, it does not act unilaterally. It is part of the overall organization. It is the core of our organization, but you do not operate unilaterally. You have a place to play in all the other functions that connect to the club. It is a large network of Lions with clubs at its center. This structure facilitates the communication up and down, all the way from local to regional and to global. That's why each of these concentric rings represents a different body of our organization. The club is really the core of our organization. It requires, a club needs to have 20 members to be a club. A zone consists of anywhere from 4 to 6 clubs. A region consists of 10 to 12 clubs. A district is comprised of 35 clubs, or with 1,250 active Lions members. Our district has some 2,000 members and 52 clubs. So you can see you can have more than 35 clubs. Several districts in a geographical area form a multiple district. The state of Texas is a multiple district. We're multiple district 2, and we have 16 individual districts that comprise multiple district 2. Each of the Lions clubs is located in a one of 7 constitutional areas, and which has Constitution Area 1 is the United States, and we have 6 international directors on the board of international. This is the model structure of a club. It's not to say that your club is modeled this way. You should be fairly close to this model. There are some new structures that I'm going to point out in a few minutes that you need to start thinking about putting into this structure, your own structure. And so we're going to go over that club organization and structure. The board of directors. The members of your club elect a board of directors. That's their job, is to elect that board of directors. That board of directors will consist of the club officers, and this is a new position, the club LCIF coordinator. This is a brand new position that should have been voted on in your elections this year. If you don't have one, this is something that you as a president may need to appoint for next year if you don't already have one elected. Think about it and see what you can do. Branch president, if you're president of a branch club of a main club, you sit on the main club's board of directors. Your program director or coordinator, these are optional ones: lion tamer, tail twister, safety officers. Those are optional. I don't have too many of them that sit. I know in my own club, the lion tamer and the tail twister do sit on our board. Other elected directors and or chairpersons. Elected directors. In the board of directors, to get continuity, it is recommended that you have persons serving 2-year terms that are elected for a 2-year term, and then you have ones that are elected for a 1-year term. It's really a progression. So if you elect your 2 years directors, they become next year's 1-year director. That way you have consistency and continuity on the board. The officers of your club are your club president, your immediate past president, secretary, treasurer, any one of your vice presidents. Some of you have 1 vice president, some of you have as many as 3 vice presidents. This is a brand new position called service chairperson. This will probably be introduced in July. So there'll be another position to serve as an officer in the future. It's called the service chairperson. Your marketing communications chairperson, and your membership chairperson. The membership chairperson is an automatic member of the board of directors and is a club officer. So under the board of directors, it works directly for the board of directors and president are the standing committees. Standing committees, the Constitution and Bylaws Committee and Information Technology Committee all work for the board of directors. And then each of the other standing committees, the Finance Committee, Leadership Committee, Service Committee, Marketing Communications Committee, and Membership Committee all fall under each one of the officers in charge. As you can see here, your secretary actually works with you. You and the secretary is your right-hand person, and there should be a lot of communication between your secretary and your treasurer and your president, as you as president. What is your role? Well, you preside over all club and board meetings. You issue the call for regular and special meetings of the board and the board of directors and all club meetings. You appoint the standing and special committees of the club. You should be prepared to do this pretty much at the beginning of your term. Look at your committees, because some of your folks may be wanting to get off the standing committee, especially if they've been chair. Give them an opportunity to do so. Maybe want to serve on a different committee. That's for you as president to find out where they want to go and do. So that may be one of the first items you want to tackle when you take office. Next, really starting in January, you need to ensure regular elections are duly called, noticed, and held timely. It is suggested, this is a suggested calendar of events. January, you appoint your nominating committee. Your nominating committee will then provide you with, towards the end of the last February club meeting, they will give you a slate of officers. Those slate of officers will have to be read in the first meeting. You have to read them in, and you can take nominations from the floor. The second meeting, when they are read, they become the ballot, and then you need to have your election done by April 15th for this district. I know when you look at the standard club standard constitution and bylaws that I sent you, it will say between April 15th and May 1st, your PU 101 is due at Lions Clubs International. For this district, we want everything done by April 15th. You will also cooperate as an active member of the district governor's advisory committee for the zone. This is there are three meetings you will find out shortly, and I'll go over that part of later on. But it is a requirement of both you as a president and your secretary. And in District 2S3, we have added the membership chair. So between the three of you, you are the three that should be coming to those meetings. So how you prepare for this? We need you to go ahead and give advance notice of meeting dates. Select a program for the benefit of the club members for your meetings. Prepare a well-planned agenda and distribute it in advance. Have a good understanding of parliamentary procedure and ensure the facilities used are adequate for your meeting purposes. As you'll see, some of what we're going to do in this one scenario will be related to preparation. So we'll come back and discuss that a little further. Facilitating a meeting takes skill. One, from time to time may have to assert yourself and deal with some rowdy or uncouth behaviors. How you handle that will greatly help resolve issues in your club. There are times when disputes arise and cannot be resolved quickly. You will be receiving the club dispute resolution resources from LCI, and I will show you where you can download them as well here this evening. Abide by some common courtesies too. We're all business people for the most part. We want to start and end the meeting on time. Follow upon agreed agenda. Conduct business and make meeting fair for everyone. Avoid political and religious discussions. This is where you and the club secretary need to get together. Follow up on any action meetings items in your meeting with your secretary. Follow up with those that are promised to respond to. Remember, your secretary is going to give you all the correspondence. You can work with your secretary and say, okay, for this type of correspondence, you can address the issue and issue a response. Other ones you want to do as yourself as president of the club, please keep the secretary aware of those. Send out the meeting minutes and agenda for the next meeting. Your secretary is a great way to get that accomplished. Acknowledge and thank those who assisted the club and fulfill their commitments. Don't wait to the end of the year to give praise. Do it as things happen. As you have projects happening that are successful, pat them on the back, everyone that participated. Do something like that. What type of meetings do we have? We have regular and special meetings. Most of our annual meetings are special meetings. Not every club celebrates their charter anniversary. It's nice when they do every year, but like my club celebrates all the major milestones, every 25 years. And we're looking forward to our 50th coming up. And officer transition meeting. You should, in this month of June, should be invited to go to the June board meeting. The June board meeting is the annual transition meeting between the officers. This allows you to see what's been going on the whole year, especially if you've not been on the board before, and experience a board meeting. You will be calling the monthly meetings. The board of directors meets once a month. Club regular meetings. It is encouraged that every club have at least 2 regular club meetings per month. Then as needed, club special meetings requested 10 days prior. And your board of directors special meetings can be requested by 3 members of the board in writing to the president. I want to talk about a scenario, and I think this will help you get to see the picture of what possibly what you may have to do. And a lot of our clubs in our district are finding this one particular common scenario happening. The attendance at your club's monthly meetings has been going, wait a minute here, declining over the last year. I've put down here some items that could be reasons for that. Right now I'm gonna unmute the mics. If anyone would like to address any of these reasons, do they have any additional reasons? Let's have a little chat about them.
This is Debbie Smith. One of the things that our club is discussing right now is we have a noon club, and we have lunch, and we've been catered by the same barbecue place for like 6 years, and we're finding fewer and fewer people participate in the meals, so we're looking at changing the variety of our meal and maybe doing catering with Luby's. But I think what you said about lengthy and boring meetings, it makes a lot of sense. The meetings where we have our tail twister there that can kind of liven things up early on definitely are better attended. People seem happier when they leave.
Anyone else have anything on any of these or any additional items?
Yeah, we have, it says members forget about meetings. We have a committee that supposed to call everyone a couple of days before the meetings to remind them.
Yeah, that's a good thing to have, but make sure, you know, there's a good, who do you put on that committee?
Well, we had people volunteering to do it.
Well, that's the reason why I asked that question is because if you have new members, that's a great way to have new members be, you know, at least they're calling once in a while to remind different members about the meetings, and there's one way your new members can meet your older members.
Some of the things we do in Wimberley, just so you're aware of that, we are very, very careful on the length of the meetings, and we are going to make a big effort this next year that the meeting agendas will follow a lot of the grant processes. The people that we gave money to will all come in and give information about what they used our money for. We've also have a good location to give it at the community center. And we took our new members and we put them on the greeter committee. So they get to greet all the people that come into the community center. All the Lions come in. Because we usually have between around 100 people at our dinner meetings out of the 200 in the club.
Yeah, I've been to your meeting and it's great. I mean, it's well attended percentage-wise of your club. So I'd really like it.
It's very important to have the new Lions to be greeters. That way they meet everybody and they feel like they're part of what's going on.
Does anyone have any of the, hopefully nobody has these meeting atmosphere is not friendly or tense, but that has popped its ugly head around our district as well at times.
We also don't have a committee that calls people, but we send a notice out by email so that they have to respond by how many people are coming and whether there's 2 Lions per family or guests or this kind of thing. So they get a teaser about 5 days ahead of time.
We send a teaser too, but we don't necessarily make it a have to respond if you're coming, but I like that. So do people come even if they forget to respond? Do you find that it makes people leery of coming if they forget to respond to the email?
Not too much. The main reason we do that is to make sure we have enough meals prepared. That's what we're trying to get straight. So we don't want people to show up. A lot of times, a lot of the programs will have 20 people giving a program. Maybe it's over the youth exchange programs or something, and the families are there. So we have to make sure that there's enough meals there and the people know what's going on. But no, if they don't, we always work it so if you don't reply, you are always welcome to be there. It's one of the things we really push.
Okay. Do y'all have varying meals at your events? Do y'all have weekly meetings?
No, it's every other week, the first and then third Tuesday of every month, and we have different meals every time.
Okay.
Now we rotate. I mean, I shouldn't say they're always different. There's probably 10, 12 meals that rotate.
Okay.
Yeah, they have a large club. They need a little more variety because they have a large group there.
Yeah, well, we're finding the variety might encourage more of our members to come and actually stay and eat with us. So we're looking to make that change.
I think that'll work for your club as well. New Lions. What do you do with New Lions?
San Marcos? Well, we encourage them all to get on a committee, but I like your idea of having them act as greeters, because that immediately gets them involved and doesn't cause them to select a committee that they don't have a lot of information about.
Right.
And you know, I'm thinking early in the year, probably July is like when I take office, but I'm thinking maybe late August or September, it might be a good idea to have just like a meeting where we just showcase the committees.
Yeah, we did this at our last meeting.
Okay. Okay,
Yeah,
so did you have committee chairs talk about it?
Yeah, we actually set up tables where all the committee chairmen are around the outside of the hall we meet in, and so they can answer questions. And then we go through, and the grants committee, the scholarship committee, and the youth exchange committee, the VPs in charge that are oversight for those, get up and do a little talk about what they're for and actually how they actually meet. And one of the things we're going to push this year, we're trying to get younger and younger members. We're trying to start varying the way we meet so that people that are working are more inclined to be able to join and be a Lion.
Right. Well, I talked to Bill Hull. Isn't he your youth exchange committee?
Yeah, sure is.
I would love information when y'all talk about that at your meetings, because I would like to try to attend one of your meetings and learn more about that. That's one of the things I want to try to do. But I'm sorry, I'm off topic.
No, that'd be great. You're more than welcome to come.
Okay.
But there's things like that. Having good programs, whether it's Lions, charities type programs, or like youth exchange, or various, even the Texas Lions Camp, or even things in your community. That's where you need to get the new Lions more involved, is community services. For their first year, I think putting them on a committee that deals with local issues and local services may be the best way to get them to become Lions for life, that they're taking care of something local and getting them involved locally. And I think that may be a way to branch them, out into the other things after a while. What we're going to do this year too, to enlighten you a little further, is we will be having these online webinars for new club member, Lions members orientation.
Good.
So I will be organizing that, and we should have it, I think, once a quarter is where I'm going to target. And so
are you still going to plan on the clubs having their own orientation sessions?
I'm going to ask them to do the club portion of the orientation within their club.
Okay. You'll do the higher up stuff.
Yeah, we're doing Lions Clubs International, and we're doing the district and all of that, and getting all of that to them. And then at the club level, we expect you to follow through and do the club part.
No, that sounds good, actually.
So,
well, Mike, we might take give them their packet, and their sponsors have got to go through it with them and make sure that all new members are in at least one new committee as soon as they're inducted.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, that is a very good idea. But I know in a lot of clubs, it doesn't, and the sponsor basically doesn't do anything, follow up. And that's what we want the sponsors to do, is to follow up and make sure they're on a committee, make sure they're on, they're felt welcome. And, we don't want them coming in and going out the back door. So we want them, get them involved, and hopefully make them Lions for life. So, okay, I'm going to go on with the presentation. Thank you. What are some committee types? We have two types of committees. The first ones we're going to talk about are the activity committees. These are your service-oriented committees. These here are the ones that Lions Clubs International suggests that the clubs have. Not every club has these. You don't need to have them. Depends on what type of services you're doing locally. Site preservation, awareness, and action. Hearing preservation, awareness, and action. In our district, we're doing Kids Site. This site preservation, awareness, and action committee could be the Kids Site committee. In other words, that's where you would put Kids Site. We do have clubs in our district that deal with hearing, test hearing on the kids, and also deal with hearing aids. That's where you would have Hearing Preservation, Awareness, and Action Committee within that kind of club. Environmental. Some clubs go out and pick up trash along the highway. So that's their Environmental Services Committee. Other types of community services, you can almost put anything under that committee that you possibly can. Every club should have a disaster preparedness committee. The reason being is, in the state of Texas, we need to bring it down to the local level. Lions, and have Lions ready to help in locally for disaster preparedness. The biggest thing coming up, if you are aware of going into the new century, is diabetes awareness. We want this on almost every club level going forward. At least for the next 5 years, we will be involved in diabetes awareness. It is one of the new service activities that we are putting the emphasis on globally. Lions Service for Children, not necessarily Lions Opportunities for Youth. Yes, I know, Lion Debbie, you had said something about youth exchange. This is where you would have that committee. Or if you were doing our Outstanding Youth contests for youth, or for our Peace Poster contest for our middle school kids. International relations. Yes, you as a club can twin with any other club worldwide, Lions Club. And we have information on doing it. My own club twinned with a club in Kirchheim, West Germany. And and we did this 2 years ago, and it's been a wonderful experience for both our clubs. Administrative ones, constitution and bylaws. By the way, I sent you the latest standard constitution and bylaws put out by Lions Clubs International. If you do not already had one that was out there, this one is your constitution and bylaws for your club. If you had one that was already approved in the past, you need to take this version and make sure that your version matches it. This version overrides anything you have in your current constitution and bylaws. Membership committee. Your membership chair should have a membership committee. Make sure your especially your administrative committees are not committees of one. We want more than one person involved in each of these areas. Even your program committee. It is a tremendous job for a program director to get all the programs for the entire year. If he had a committee, you could spread the work around and possibly get many more programs lined up. Lions information, that is your newsletter. How many of you have a newsletter? If you do have a newsletter, just let me know in the chat. Information technology, are you taking advantage of websites? Whether it's Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter. Yes, you can tweet. Tweet is what it is, not twit. Tweet. Finance committee under your treasurer. Okay, folks, as president, let me tell you right now, you are the backup to your secretary. The secretary and yourself have the same capabilities in my LCI. You can update records, you can do reports, and so forth. So I'm going to go through my LCI with you this evening, and so we can get you a little more familiar with it. What I suggest is let the secretary do all the hard work when it comes to my LCI. Should they not be available any month, they're gone on vacation, then you go in and make sure that the monthly membership report is done at the end of the month. It is due on the last day of the month. And if they're not there and you know there's some updates to do, report for the current month that you have no changes, and then when the secretary comes back the following month, they can do all the updates. So that's just a suggestion on my part. We're going to talk about creating your login, how you're going to use the program, and maneuvering in the program. What you see here is the Lions Clubs International website. You will find right above on this page the My LCI link. If you would just go ahead and click that link, it will take you into My LCI, which looks like this. This is the login page for My LCI. Every one of you has a membership number. I am suggesting when you create your login that your username is your membership number, and you can create whatever password associated with it. If you go down and see where it says new user, if you've never been in My LCI, we need you to go as new user and create your username and password. If you're currently doing a job and had my LCI capability, but you forgot your password, that's where you would go and get your password. Otherwise, that's where we want you to go, new user, and to register. You can do that now, folks, before July 1st. Get that done. What are you going to do? You're going to enter your home address, your club name, enter your first and last names. You're going to enter your spouse's name. You're going to put in your username and password, your email. If you don't have a current email, most of you that are here tonight do have an email, but make sure that all your officers have emails from now on. All club officers should have an email. Lions Clubs International president is wanting to talk directly to you as presidents of your club. The way he will do that is through email. You're going to select some security questions so you can and you hit I agree, submit it. It should come up registration complete and bring you back to the login page. Before I go too long into more in here, I want you to see this support center. This, on every page of my LCI, this is what you will need to go to if you can't figure out what's happening. It has a lot of good information on the login page. It's related to the login. And as we go forward, you'll see the support center change over for depending on the page we're on. Go ahead and key in your new password and username. And this is what you see, folks, when you come in. I want you to look currently at that support center. The first one under resources, training area. That training area is now available to you as president. If you want to come in there and not affect any of the records, but want to practice what we go over tonight, you're more than welcome to go to the training area and do that before July 1 or any time thereafter. If you just want to train yourself as far as adding a member, dropping a member, and other functions. At the top of my LCI, you see here, welcome club secretary, and there's a drop down. It should say president for you once you come in. Remember, I told you to use as your username your membership number. That's how it determines what position you are in. Your current secretary for this year, when they turned in your that you are president of the club, that information went to LCI and they created your space here tied to your membership number. There are tasks here. Most of those are going to be related to the secretary, so you can use this to monitor what's left that the secretary hasn't done. Also, your club's information will be here. If your club has a website, where you meet, when you were founded, There under my info will be your info. Make sure it's always correct, so folks can come and get a hold of you as president. Here under my members will be the membership reports that are reported monthly. You will see here there's a green check. This is where you're going to be monitoring your secretary. Make sure that you have a green check in every month. It's going to be important for you to do that because having a 100% secretary means you are 100% president, and you will be able to get more awards for your club, like Club Excellence Award, later on in the year. Your latest service activities will be listed in this bottom middle. And then over here, my officers will be your district officers, your zone chairman, and so forth. My Leo, if you have a Leo club, you will have that information here. My Lions Club will be where you will make most of your transactions. That's where you add a member and so forth. My district and my multiple district will only have information related to those items. At the club level, you will only see the current district officers in there. We went over all of those slots. What we're going to make available for you is the club officers manual. That's a item that I'm going to have you download and put on your computers with presidents, because it is a tremendous amount of paper to print out, but it's nice to have electronic access to. Yes, you have access to the Lions store. Only you and the secretary can purchase items in the store for the club and bill the club for their price. Lions Club International Website Learning Center. There are many more courses available to you during the year. We suggest that you take advantage of them. There's like time management. There are, conflict resolution courses. There's public speaking and other things that you can take and go over. These can be finished in anywhere from 30 to 60 minutes. They're online PowerPoints that you can go through. Here is the resource club management. We are going to go over there in a minute. Let me transfer over there just a second. Hopefully. Okay, everyone is seeing that now. Thank you. This is your club resources. The club standard, club constitution and bylaws that I sent you. This is it. The Constitution for International Constitution and Bylaws. This one is tremendously large, as well as this board policy manual. If you would like that, please put that as an electronic copy on your desktop. Club Your Way. I think Lion Debbie, this may be a nice thing for you to take a look at as you are trying to make some changes, and it's got a lot of good suggestions. So I highly recommend that that may be something that you may want to be interested in doing. Ceremony for installation of officers. You as president will be responsible to have an officer installation probably at the end of your term for your successor. And you should be also installed before July 1st. There are several of us at the district that can do that, to have done this installation officers training. But if you want someone within your club to do it, here's the ceremony. We also have inductions for new club members, new Lions members, the induction ceremonies. If you want your membership chair to do all the club inductions, which happens in my club, that's where you would find that. Planning and conducting retreats. Now, if some of you haven't done this in a while, sometimes you guys have some unique problems out there, and it's nice to get together on a weekend and have some brainstorming over some problems that are happening. And this planning and conducting retreats is a great resource for doing something like that. All of these here are paper forms that you can do it. You as a group have been reported to Lions Clubs International, so you would not have to use any of these paper forms. But folks, we have 6 clubs that have not conducted their elections, and after June 20th, they will have to come here and do this and have to submit everything by paper. We got club president, first vice president, club secretary. You can find out more about your positions from here. They have actually individual PowerPoint classes that are 30 minutes long. You can go over there. They're pretty much the same as what we did here. I'm going to open it up now. Wait a minute. If anyone wants to talk about and give any questions, I'll be glad to answer any questions.
Yeah, Mike, on these new officers, what's the exact responsibility of the service chairman?
The service chairman is to take, really, the service chairman is going to be taking all of your activity, your service activities, and making sure that they are in compliance with Lions Clubs International's presidential theme, and they're going to be out there to make sure that, you know, all the activities you as a club decide you're going to do are going to be done, and they're going to have, he may have subcommittees for each one of the service activities, he or she, but
Okay.
they will be responsible for those activities.
Okay, the program chairman, what's their responsibility exactly?
They are the actual programs that you have at your club meetings.
Okay, right now, we have a second vice president, and that's their main job is the programs.
That's not a problem with the organization. You've just combined it under the vice president. That's fine to do. That's not a problem. Anyone else have any questions? Lion Debbie, you asked a question in chat. I got that. Your current secretary has your membership number.
Okay, I just texted him. I figured I could get it from him. I had a card and I don't know where I put it.
Yeah, the secretary will print out cards. They have that ability in my LCI to print out cards for the entire membership list.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else have a question? It is my pleasure to have conducted this training for you this evening. I am always available to you as a mentor. I am going to be the incoming global leadership team coordinator for the district. And so I am always available to you. I will let you know, as presidents know when I'm going to conduct the orientation sessions online. I may also do one in the fall and one in the spring live at a location. So it'll be on a weekend. But I will let you and keep you informed. Also note that you received everything on Newswire about this meeting. That's how we're going to communicate in this district to you. We're going to send out the newsletter for the district through the Newswire and a lot more communications coming to you through the Newswire. So make sure that Newswire address is whitelisted. That will be your source of information from the district all year long of your term.
Do you already have dates for those meetings that we need to attend with our membership chairman and secretary? You said you would share those?
Yes, okay. I missed that part of it. The zone chairs will actually call those meetings. The zone chair, we have 10 zones in the district. We'll have 10 zone chairs. Their responsibility is to conduct 3 meetings a year. The 3 meetings we normally suggest, one in September, one in November, one in February, March. That kind of gives you an idea, okay? We still leave it up to the zone chairman to put the actual date and time in place.
Okay.
But you are automatically members there. Your name is already printed on the attendance sheet, so you're going to have to initial in to the meeting. It is a required meeting of both presidents, secretaries, and membership chair for every club, you know. So if you cannot make it, send a vice president in your place. You know, the secretary can send the treasurer in his place, or whatever.
And they're usually on Saturdays, correct?
No, they're at various times. We've had them in the evenings during the week.
Okay. Okay.
They're not always on Saturdays, and like I said, there are 3 required of every zone chairman. So, and they're going to be pushing for those 3 this next year. We're going to be, after we've completed club officer training, we're going to do zone chair training. That's the next level we're going up. So they'll get their training, and then hopefully they'll start bringing you in on some zone meetings. What the zone meeting does is allows you to communicate with all the other clubs that are geographically close to you, what you're doing, and that way you're not stepping on each other's toes. And plus you learn from each other. I mean, you guys learn on that scenario job from each other tonight. So that's what a zone meeting's all about. Exchange of information between the clubs. And there's a lot of good exchange there, and a lot of good ideas flow back and forth. And like I said, we learn from each other, and it's very interesting to see. Anyone else have any questions?
Yeah, if we need to get a hold to you, what's your email address?
My email address, I'm going to type it into chat, but I will also tell you.
Okay.
It is mslions2s3@gmail.com.
MS Lions 2S3.
Yes, 2s3@gmail.com. Like I said, anytime you need help, I'm available to you as the global leadership team. My job is to make your job easier.
That was COM, right? Not CO.
Yes, COM, C-O-M. If there are any other questions, I'll be glad to answer those. I'm going to stay here for a little bit longer yet, and if not, that's the end of our session.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. We sure appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.